Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on itvtt.com. I am Michael Dumais. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, the Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar calls for national unity and reconciliation as Trinidad and Tobago marks African Emancipation Day 2026. The U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee considers the nomination of Trinidad-born Jennifer Johnson Carroll to become the next United States ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur says tax relief for qualifying hybrid vehicles remains unchanged despite customs classification ruling on certain mild hybrid vehicles. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has called on Trinidad and Tobago to reject division and embrace unity as the nation observed African Emancipation Day 2026. Here's more. Speaking at the office of the Prime Minister's African Emancipation Day celebrations, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar paid tribute to the courage and sacrifice of those who fought against slavery, describing Emancipation Day as a reminder of the ongoing pursuit of justice, equality, and human dignity. She urged citizens to draw inspiration from their resilience while recognizing the lasting contributions of people of African descent to the country's development. The Prime Minister also said Trinidad and Tobago's greatest strength lies in its diversity, calling on citizens to reject prejudice and work together to build a society founded on inclusion, fairness, and mutual respect.
Across TNT in this month coming, the rhythm of the African drum grows stronger. The vibrant colors and beautiful garments of Africa brighten our communities. Ancient traditions are renewed in music, in dance, and in prayer. And it's through the voices of our African ancestors. They call out across the generations. They invite us not merely to celebrate African Emancipation Day, but they ask us to remember. And you know why? Because remembrance is the first duty of gratitude. That is why, together with the staff, the PSs, out of the Office of the Prime Minister, we proudly host this special observance today. No other office, in my respectful view, bears a greater responsibility to honor those upon whose sacrifice our nation was built, to preserve the truth of our history, and ensure the courage of our ancestors is never, ever surrendered to the passage of time. Today, we honor the millions of African women, men, and children who were torn from their homelands by the horrific transatlantic slave trade and brought here to the Caribbean and to elsewhere in the New World.
The U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee has held a nomination hearing for several diplomatic appointments, including the nomination of Trinidad-born Jennifer Johnson Carroll as the next United States ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. If confirmed by the Senate, Johnson Carroll, who is originally from Arouca and formerly served as Florida's lieutenant governor, will become the first Trinidad and Tobago-born woman to serve as the U.S. ambassador to this country. During the hearing, she described relations between the United States and Trinidad and Tobago as strong and highlighted ongoing cooperation on border security, human trafficking, and energy development. Johnson Carroll also noted that both countries share common interests in expanding energy opportunities, particularly in the oil and gas sector. The American Chamber of Commerce said the nomination reflects the growing influence and achievements of Trinidad and Tobago diaspora on the international stage.
The United States is experiencing a good relationship with the country of Trinidad and Tobago in that they've been very supportive of the Caribbean Basin Initiative, security initiatives, such that they recognize that they do have a porous border and we do need some resources, or they need some resources in order to curtail against illicit human trafficking. And the United States is committed to moving forward with a license that has been accepted for a sector in the Caribbean area between Venezuela and Trinidad to help the country explore for additional resources, which will also help the United States in its efforts to increase direct support for business opportunities.
Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku says the Customs and Excise Division's classification ruling on certain mild hybrid vehicles does not remove or alter the existing tax relief available to qualifying hybrid vehicles. The minister said the issue was discussed during meetings with the Trinidad and Tobago Automotive Dealers Association on July 27th and 30th, involving officials from the Ministry of Finance and the Customs and Excise Division. Minister Tanku said legal notice number 247 of 2024 remains in force, and any new or used private hybrid vehicle that meets the required criteria will continue to qualify for customs duty relief. He also criticized what he described as inaccurate reporting and unverified claims on social media, saying they created unnecessary concern among dealers and consumers. The minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to maintaining open dialogue with stakeholders and ensuring transparency on matters affecting the public. We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation is urging motorists to ignore misleading information circulating on social media about the online payment of fixed penalty notices. The ministry said inaccurate claims have the potential to confuse the public and stressed that only official communications should be relied upon for information relating to traffic ticket payments. Motorists seeking clarification on the payment of fixed penalty notices or the status of their records are being advised to contact the Traffic Enforcement Center unit directly for verified information. The ministry also urged members of the public to verify information before sharing it on social media. Speaking at the grand opening of Pennywise Plaza in Trin City, Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism Satyakama Maharaj praised Pennywise for supporting the government's Buy Local, Build Local campaign by providing shelf space for locally made products. He said the company's commitment to promoting local goods helps strengthen domestic businesses, supports economic growth, and encourages consumers to invest in Trinidad and Tobago's manufacturing sector.
Sustainable growth and diversification. Partnerships with companies like Pennywise are essential as we continue to diversify our economy and strengthen our non-energy sector. I am particularly pleased that Pennywise continues to support products made in Trinidad and Tobago by local manufacturers, and they have always done that. This aligns with the ministry's Buy Local, Build Trinbago campaign, which encourages consumers and businesses to support local manufacturers, strengthen domestic industries, and create new opportunities for entrepreneurs. Behind every local product placed on these shelves is a story of economic resilience, perseverance, and passion. A family that dared to dream, an entrepreneur who refused to give up, or a business that soared through challenges to serve their customers. To the entire Pennywise family, thank you for your continued investment in Trinidad and Tobago, for the positive impact you have made on our economy, and our communities. It is now my distinct honor to join you as we officially open Pennywise. And I know you're going to hear from the CEO himself, Mr. Dardy Parody. Thank you very much.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says the government remains committed to strengthening the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service as part of its national security strategy. In a statement on Wednesday, the Prime Minister said 226 recruits reported for the first day of training at the Prison Service Training Academy at the Golden Grove Prison Complex, with additional recruits expected to bring the intake to its planned complement of 250. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar said the new officers will help improve institutional security and support offender rehabilitation. She also announced that a second intake will begin orientation on August 24th, with training scheduled to start on September 1st as government continues efforts to strengthen the country's protective services. Nursing and midwifery personnel within the Northwest Regional Health Authority are a step closer to receiving overtime pay following what the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association described as productive talks with the authority's management. The association said the NWRHA has agreed to review the legal entitlement of nurses and midwives to overtime compensation for mandatory extra duty hours instead of the current system of time off or flat rate pool payments. The discussions also resulted in commitments to transition 1-year temporary employees to 3-year contracts, expand the use of emergency medical technicians for inter-facility transfers, and strengthen ward staffing over time. While welcoming the progress, the association said issues such as the permanency exercise for eligible nursing and midwifery personnel remain unresolved, and discussions with the authority will continue. You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. Defense Minister Wayne Sturgis says the United States-led Operation Southern Spear has been a success for Trinidad and Tobago, despite a report by the Washington Post that the military campaign has failed to reduce the flow of cocaine into the United States. He said the operation gave the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force valuable time to restore its naval capabilities, with the Coast Guard now operating at about 75% capacity. He also claimed that interception rates of suspected vessels entering Trinidad and Tobago's territorial waters are now close to 100%. However, the minister acknowledged that maritime interdiction alone will not solve the country's drug trafficking problem, noting that most illegal firearms and narcotics continue to enter through legal ports of entry. Sturge declined to comment on whether Operation Southern Spear is still active, referring questions on the operation's status to United States authorities. Let's now take a look at some international news.
Tonight, state officials and the FBI are trying to determine who is behind a wide-scale cyber attack targeting more than 30 water treatment systems in the state of Minnesota. In one case, the hackers were actually able to shut down the flow of water from the well and water treatment plant in the tiny city of Brom, forcing officials to provide clean water to residents already stored in its water tower. In a statement, the city says it was informed that there were at least 4 other communities attacked with the same result.
When an event like this comes up where we can run in manual operations just to ensure the quality and quantity of water is not affected.
Today, Minnesota officials said authorities have not yet identified who is responsible, but sources say a number of officials suspect hackers tied to Iran are involved, in part because of the ongoing conflict unfolding in the Middle East.
President Trump had hoped a brief pause in fighting would jumpstart negotiations, but tonight the war with Iran only widening. Iran overnight firing on American bases in Jordan, an attempted surprise attack, which the U.S. deflected. But today, an American-owned tanker in Egypt seen smoldering after being hit by a drone. And Saudi Arabia now entering the fight, joining the U.S. to fire missiles at Iranian-backed militias in Iraq. Just 2 days ago, Trump said the U.S. and Iran were in very deep talks, which he described as very friendly. But tonight, the U.S. launching a barrage of powerful new attacks, hours after the president leveled this threat.
We're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them.
Americans increasingly gloomy. A new Quinnipiac poll shows 66% of voters say the war with Iran has not been worth fighting. Trump says he's still hoping to strike a deal with Iran.
We'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point.
One person who's not optimistic, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who met with Trump at the White House yesterday.
You said just yesterday that you think that a diplomatic solution is unlikely. Why do you think that you all have such different assessments of the outcome here?
Well, I don't know if it's unlikely, but I'm skeptical about Iran's mode of operandus. I mean, the method of operating. They always lie, they always cheat, and they always play for time. Could that, with sufficient pressure, diplomatic, economic pressure, could that change? Give it a try.
When we return, your weather updates and more, stay tuned.
Introducing Signature Marine Coatings. We bring you premium marine solutions powered by PPG coatings, including anti-fouling protection, high-grade epoxy systems, fiberglass materials, and complete marine refinishing supplies. Protect, enhance, and maximize the performance of your vessel with products you can trust. Get the finish your vessel deserves. We are located at Tardy Marine Limited in Chagaramas. Call us today at 2900-654 or email at signaturepaints@hotmail.com.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimati Lakshmide Shukla and family cordially invites you and your family to one night of Bhagavad Mahapuran Katha in memory of the late Pandit Chandrabose Shukla's 60th death anniversary, to be held on July 31st, 2026 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at their residence, Moraldo Tres Sambuco, Santa Cruz. Officiating will be Pandit Umadat Maharaj of Swaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Live broadcast on IETV.
Welcome back to IE's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today was generally warm and partly cloudy across Trinidad and Tobago, with intervals of sunshine interrupted by occasional cloudy spells throughout the day. A few scattered showers developed during the afternoon, while isolated heavier showers affected some districts as daytime heating combined with available moisture. Temperatures climbed to approximately 33 degrees Celsius at Piaco and 32 at Crown Point, while overnight lows are expected to settle between 24 and 25 degrees Celsius. Moderate easterly winds persisted across the islands, occasionally becoming fresh and gusty near heavier showers. A mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust remained present, resulting in slightly hazy conditions at times. Sea conditions remained moderate, with offshore wave heights between 1.5 and 2.0 meters and below 1.0 meter in sheltered coastal waters. becoming choppy in the vicinity of showers. Tonight is expected to become partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, with a few isolated showers developing during the late evening and overnight hours. Warm and humid conditions will continue, accompanied by moderate easterly winds of 15 to 25 kilometers per hour. A mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust is expected to linger overnight, reducing visibility slightly in some areas. Marine conditions will remain moderate, with offshore seas between 1.5 and 2.0 meters and below 1.0 meter in sheltered waters. Small craft operators and sea bathers should continue to exercise caution, particularly in offshore waters, where seas may become choppy during showers. Saturday is expected to begin with a mixture of sunshine and cloudiness across Trinidad and Tobago. As the day progresses, increasing moisture and daytime heating are expected to trigger scattered afternoon showers and a few thunderstorms, particularly over central and western Trinidad. Temperatures are forecast to reach 33 degrees in Trinidad and around 33 in Tobago, with warm and humid conditions persisting throughout the day. Moderate easterly winds will continue, becoming fresh and gusty near heavier showers and thunderstorms. Sea conditions are expected to remain moderate, with offshore wave heights between 1.5 and 2.0 meters and below 1 meter in sheltered coastal waters. Overall, Saturday is expected to be warm and breezy, with sunny intervals interrupted by scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Let's take a look at some crime news. A 33-year-old Tobago man is expected to be charged with manslaughter of Angelica Jogi, which occurred on April 8, 2026. The charge arises from an incident at Pigeon Point Marine Park, Tobago, where 7-year-old Angelica died after a jet ski collided with her within an area designated for bathing. Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard today gave advice to investigators to charge the suspect, a jet ski operator of Canaan, with manslaughter. The suspect was rearrested in connection with the matter on July 27th and is expected to appear before the High Court on Tuesday, 28th July. Investigations were conducted under the leadership of Senior Superintendent Kirk and supported by Sergeant Jonas, all of the Tobago Division. 32 persons were arrested with 104 warrants executed during a tri-divisional warrant operation conducted throughout the Southwestern Division. On Monday, 27th July, between 12 a.m. and 6 p.m., the exercise targeted persons wanted for outstanding warrants and formed part of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service's ongoing efforts to bring offenders before the courts and improve public safety. The operation resulted in the execution of 104 warrants, including traffic court, affiliation, and committal warrants. Those arrested comprise of 31 males and 1 female ranging in ages 20 to 63 from communities across Superior, Faizabad, Penal, Urupush, Cedros, Labre, Point Fortin, Rancho Quemado, Guapo, and Cap de Ville. The operation was spearheaded by ACP Remy. Officers attached to the Southwestern Division Court and Process Branch also participated in the exercise. Investigations are ongoing. Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar calls for national unity and reconciliation as Trinidad and Tobago marks African Emancipation Day 2026. The U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee considers the nomination of Trinidad-born Jennifer Johnson Carroll to become the next United States ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku says tax relief for qualifying hybrid vehicles remains unchanged despite customs classification, that is, ruling on certain mild hybrid vehicles. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dumé. Thank you for joining us.